Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we are doing another reading vlog where I'm trying to finish the book series that I'm in the middle of. In total, I'm in the middle of this many books. I don't actually know how many at the moment, but there will be a number here. And as I've looked at them this morning, actually quite a lot of the book series that I'm in the middle of are up to date for what is out at the moment. So the number of series I'm actually in the middle of that have books that I can continue is this, which hopefully is a much less number. I need to do the maths. So that being said, I do own quite a few books that is the next one in the series that I can continue, because there's quite a few series I want to start this year, so I need to start ticking things off so I'm not building up that number. That being said, I have picked out 3 books that I think I want to read in this video, but that might change depending on mood. So first off, we have Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver. This one I believe is going to be the last book in the series because he is the last brother. This one is following Fionn, who is a doctor, I want to say, and Rose, who we have seen in the first 2 books. So this one will definitely be interesting. This is a dark rom-com. So it is a dark romance, but it's definitely a comedy at the same time. So yeah, this one I believe is finishing this trilogy, which would be very good because that's one taken off the list. Then we have Spiral, which is the sequel to Collide by Bal Cabra. I don't know how many books are going to be in this series, but this one's just been released in the end of January, I want to say, or was it February? I can't remember. It's either end of January or like towards the beginning of February. So this one would make this series up to date for what's out so far. And it's just a cute little hockey romance with a ballerina. And then we have That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human by Kimberly Lemming. This is part of the Maid Mishap series. As far as I'm aware, there's only 3 out at the minute. This is the 3rd one. I don't know if there's going to be more. I feel like I saw something that maybe there was going to be a 4th book. So if there is, it might not be series finished, but it will at the very least be series up to date for what is out so far. So this would be, if I read these 3, this would be a very good progress made on how many book series I'm in the middle of. So I don't know what I want to read first is the only thing. Today I'm feeling very fatigued. I've got myself a candle on, I've got my comfy cozies on, and I've got myself a cup of tea. So I just kind of want to, I'm just not feeling great fatigue wise, so I want something easy. That's not too long. I mean, none of these are very long, to be fair. But I think I'm actually going to start off with That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human, because these are so easy to read, they're so mindless, it's just what I need right now. So yeah, let's get into That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. Okay. I just sort of died for nearly 2 hours and had a nap. I started off having the nap on here. This is not a comfy place to nap. So I got up and went and lay down. But normally I don't feel good after like a 2-hour nap, I'll be honest with you. I feel so much better than I did this morning. So that's really good because I need to feel better for work. I'm literally just over 100 pages into the book. I'm on chapter 8, page 103. Again, this book I'm reading at a faster reading rate than I do normally, and I have with the last 2 books as well. I didn't look at the blurb of this one as to who, although to be fair it doesn't tell you who she is. But all I will say is it links to the first one in a way I did not expect. yeah, I don't have much to say aside from that, to be honest. These books, they are literally just for a bit of fun, a bit of a giggle, a bit of strangeness, just light-hearted, not taking it seriously entertainment. And it's exactly what I need right now to continue my enjoyment of reading again. Anyway, I do enjoy this series, I have to say. I don't know if this is going to be because this is now follows 3 people that are connected. I don't know if there is going to be a 4th one because I don't know who it would follow. Unless it followed another person from like the ship's crew rather than any of the humans, but I think I could probably finish it today, to be honest, because it's a very quick read, and it would be, again, a nice way to feel like I'm out of my slump if I can read a book in a day, because normally I don't really have a problem with that, but I haven't done that in a long time, so yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm a little over 200 pages into the book now, so I've read another 100 pages since we last spoke. I'm on like a weird angle here. Let's just... I think so far this might be my favourite book of the series. So in this book, they're all kind of like interconnected standalones, but I do recommend reading the books in order. So this is the 3rd book in the series, and in this one we're following a dragon, Dante, who we've known in the other books. And he is just desperate to find his mate, and he's kind of like, okay, I now know 2 other demons who have mated with humans, and there's not many female dragons around, so he's like, my fated mate is probably going to be a human, so I'm going to go off in search of her. And he finds her having already been kind of kidnapped by another dragon, and we're kind of going from there. She just wants to go back home, but she won't tell him where it is, and he is just trying to prove his affection for her. So book 1, I think book 2 is probably the spiciest and the most out of pocket, we will say. Tentacles were involved at one point. Listen, okay. Anyway, I feel like, I mean, this is the longest book, and it's also so far kind of the least spicy. They're both feeling it for each other. Nothing's happened yet, and I'm like 200 pages and nothing's happened yet, so probably is the least spicy. There's a book called The Grim Reaper's Lawyer. I may have to look into this. Just because someone's blabbed the back of it. Someone called Mia Monique, author of The Grim Reaper's Lawyer. Anyway, I'm easily distracted. So yeah, that's like the general premise of this book. I've got about 120, just under 100. I've got about 120 pages left. That'll take me probably about an hour, to be honest. Maybe an hour and a half. And then that'll be the book finished. These are so quick and easy to read, genuinely. They are pure entertainment, these books. Pure entertainment. You are just along for the ride. Crazy things are happening. They're saying some really out of pocket shit. Like, it's just, they're so fun. And so far this one I'm liking more than the other 2. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go and finish this, and then we will decide what I'm gonna read next. I finished That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. I think I'm gonna rate it a 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it more. It was a bit more normal than the other 2. It's especially more normal than the second. Anyway, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I've just like read it so easily, so quickly. It's just been exactly what I need on like the tail end of coming out of my reading slump. So yeah, it wasn't as spicy. I'm gonna give it a 2. There's only 2 spice scenes, so it wasn't too bad. 2.5, we'll see. Just in 2.5 spice scenes, but still 2 chili pepper. So yeah, obviously I don't want to talk loads about it because one of the characters I don't want to spoil if anyone was reading the series, because it was quite a nice surprise for me to read it, so I don't want to say too much. It's the 3rd in the series. I just really recommend the Maiden Mishap series if you want something fun, completely unhinged and unserious, and a good, like, I mean, I've not read any of these together. Both book 1 and 2 I read in 2 different 24-hour reading challenges. They're just a really good like palate cleanser in between things, or great for when you're going to be really tired during a 24-hour reading challenge. So I highly recommend. I think I'm going to read Scythe and Sparrow tomorrow. I'm not going to read any more tonight because it's 9 o'clock and I want to just get a couple of things tidied and clean and then go to bed. So I will see you tomorrow. We're probably going to be reading Scythe and Sparrow. Scythe and Sparrow? Yeah. I said it a second ago, I just started myself. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so kind of last night and this morning / this afternoon, I've managed to get a little over 150 pages into the book, so not quite halfway, but we're getting there. So far, I'm really enjoying this. There's been some really funny moments. I like the dynamic between Rose and Fionn, but I feel like her actions were told to Fionn very quickly after the meeting. So I don't know how to feel about that. But, you know, needs must and all. We've just gotten to the point where in the first book, Sloane and Rowan turned up at Fionn's house. So then we still have the second book to get to, because I don't think they're together in the second book. Or are they? And they never said. I don't know. But that's where we're at the moment. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out what's going to happen and how things are going to go. I've read like all of it, but I've actually been, for some parts, listening to the audiobook along with it, just to try and immerse myself in it, and I'm still kind of coming out of my reading slump, so I've been wanting to stay in a book more rather than get distracted by other things. So I've enjoyed the audiobook as well. I think I listened to Butcher and Blackbird, but I read Leather and Lark, so yeah, I'm gonna do like a mix of both, to be honest, with this read. But yeah, so far definitely enjoying it. I feel like Fionn is very hard on himself for an inner part of himself that he feels is really bad. But yeah, he's completely fine with his brothers, so I don't know where that internally is gonna... Why is it wrong for him to do it but fine for them to do it? Do you know what I mean? I think he's got like an inherent feeling of that he's bad. But he's not. None of them are. They hate bad guys. I'm not bothered about that. So yeah, there's that. I think there's more to Rose and her backstory, so I'm looking forward to learning more about that, as to why she's chosen to do what she does and why she ended up in the circus as well. That's it for now. I'll let you know when I have another update, I guess. Okay, I have only read like a chapter of this, and it's Wednesday, it's the next day. I read a chapter and that was like a month later, and now we're on 1 year later. So that's answering the question of when we were going to get to after a Leather and Lark, because I was fairly sure they weren't together in Leather and Lark. So I'm over halfway, and now we're in a year later, so we must be in the Leather and Lark timeline now, or just after. Or we must be getting towards where the ending of that is, like the ending of that book. I don't know, but that has answered my question from earlier, so that is good to know. Anyway, I'm going to try and read as much of this. It's 9 o'clock. I'm absolutely exhausted. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to read. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, I've not filmed in a few days. Today is Sunday, it's Sunday night currently. I'm about to go to bed, to be honest. I was going to call it Butcher and Blackbird there. I finished Scythe and Sparrow on Thursday. I listened to a lot of this audiobook while reading it. But to be honest, the last few chapters I think I just audiobooked with my eyes closed because I was trying to get the book finished. I really enjoyed this book. I've given it a 4.25 stars and a 3 chili pepper rating. I think I've said this already. I really liked their dynamic, and I feel like he was definitely the softest of the three brothers. Obviously he's a doctor, so he is more of that caretaker type. And I just think him and Rose were really well suited to each other. So yeah, I did enjoy this. I feel like it was not as dark as the others, maybe. It's still dark, don't get me wrong, and it's still very morally grey, but I feel like it's not quite as dark as the first one. But this does take place during the first book, and then the end of it, timeline-wise, is kind of the end of Leather and Lark. So it literally ties in with both timelines, to be honest. So if you're going to read these books, definitely read them in order. But yeah, to be honest, I read it a few days ago. I've still not written my review down. I can't remember what I thought about it, because I have a terrible memory, and once I finish a book, it's gone. But I did really enjoy it, so there's that. Anyway, so I have not really read. I didn't read it all on Friday, I didn't read it all yesterday, and I've read just over 40 pages of Spiral today. So far it seems alright, but I have to say, this girl, I feel like she's moving fast. It's 40 pages and they've had a first date. I'll leave it at that. It is meant to be fake dating. However, they've had a date, and but they have not yet said it's fake dating. They haven't come to that yet. So it's a bit of a weird dynamic. She is the niece of is he the owner of his team? He's not the coach, but he's in the NHL. And obviously he's a new rookie on the team. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like they're moving fast when they're not. But for 40 pages, I don't know. And she's very open, which I'm surprised about, because she's got some like dodgy family history. But she's very open and just out there, which I do really respect. But I feel like, is it Elias? Yeah, I feel like Elias is going to be like, whoa, what's going on here? I don't know. He's very closed off and private, and she is the complete opposite of that. So, I don't know. This is currently, I feel like it's going quick. It's not necessarily, but I feel like it's going quick. Another video, another pack of mini eggs. Listen, it's that time of year where chocolate is just way more, I mean, it's always easily accessible, but it's that time of year where I have no control. And so when Tesco tells me you can't order these after the 19th of April, I will buy 5. Okay, I bought 3 packets. I don't know why I said 5. I will buy 3 packets of the big packs of mini eggs just to keep me going, because they are like crack to me, to be honest. Anyway, we're reading Spiral. I'm 100 pages in. I'm on chapter 14. And I was giggling a little bit. He's said a few funny things, so I thought, let's get my reactions on camera. Okay, I can't lie, there's some parts of this that's cringing. Like, cringy. Just the way some things are worded. Like this bit, it's like, look, it's like someone having a bad dream. No, not a bad dream, a nightmare. As if it's really dramatic. A bad dream is a nightmare is a bad dream. They are one and the same. You're making it sound more dramatic, you're putting words in for no reason, and I'm like, it feels a tiny bit cringe. Tiny bit cringe. But I'll be honest, I am struggling to enjoy, I mean, don't get me wrong, I am enjoying this book, I really am. but I am in some ways struggling to enjoy these cute fluffy little romances, because sometimes I'm like, literally, what are you doing? I don't know what's wrong with me lately, but that is, it's what I'm like at the minute. And it's even, where is my phone? I just felt it hurt if I, oh, it's in my pocket. There was it was the way it was worded a few chapters ago. Yeah, so she's talking about when you're a woman and you go out on a date with someone you've met on a dating app. I'm so sorry, I'm fiddling with my hair so much, but it's greasy, it needs a wash. I don't know what to do with it and I feel overstimulated, okay? Anyway, and she's saying, like, you've got to be sort of careful with how you act on a date sometimes, because you don't know what the man's going to do afterwards. So even if you don't like someone, you can't say it because you don't feel comfortable or you worry that they'll do something. In this bit, I don't know what, maybe I'm reading it wrong and I'm taking it the wrong way, and it makes me weirdly angry for no reason. But it just says, self-preservation is a lesson every girl should learn before she ventures out of the house. However, I learned it by getting into the situations no young girl should ever endure. Self-taught self-preservation is a true badge of honour. And I don't know, but it's that self-taught self-preservation is a true badge of honour sentence. I don't like it. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm taking it the wrong way, but it really rubs me up the wrong way. It makes me feel, it's not a badge of honour to have to look over your shoulder to leave when you leave the house. Like, it's not. And being in a bad having bad things happen to you isn't a badge of honour necessarily, and maybe I'm wording that wrong, maybe I'm taking what she means wrong by badge of honour, but I don't know, I didn't like that paragraph. But aside from that, I am enjoying it, but there's just a few little sentences here and there where I'm like, not a needed sentence, that could have been taken out, and it makes the sentence, or the paragraph, a little bit cringy. Anyway. I actually just realised, when I'm reading it, my brain's now reading it in Cell Block Tango, where she's like, no, not chewing, popping. No, not a bad dream, a nightmare. Anyway, that's just my brain. See, I'm literally slightly further down the same page, right? And bear in mind, she's just like on the page, in fact, literally a couple paragraphs, like at the top of this page, she mentions having insomnia. Then, like, the next paragraph down, pretty much, is the weird, not a bad dream, a nightmare. And then, like, a tiny bit more, so on the same page, she's mentioning insomnia again. But the way she's like, hello, insomnia, like, do you know, I don't have a problem with Sage as a character. I like her, she's clearly had to grow up way too young, and dealt with really shitty parents, and a younger brother that really depended on her because of a medical condition. But, you know, those people who go through bad things. Everyone goes through bad things, some more than others, and some to a much more traumatic extent than others. But everyone has like things that are traumatic to them, or leave them with a bad reaction to things going forward, or like triggers, you know. A lot of people go through something bad in their life that stays with them, you know. I feel like that's just part of life. At some point you're going to have one, two more, however many instances. And you know how you have some people who they just get on with it because it is life. And obviously this is some things that happen so traumatic that I'm not saying that. Let me just get that straight. There is instances where, yeah, your life's completely changed, and I'm not saying you should just get on with it. That's not what I mean. But you have people who have that trauma or that experience be a part of their life, but they go forward and they try to make the best of it, and they don't, I don't know how to best word it. They don't have it be a part of their personality, say. And we haven't had the full backstory here, but we know she has shitty parents. And she pretty much had to raise her younger brother. That's all we know so far. That previous paragraph about badge of honour thing, we don't know if she's had something else happen to her in regards to harassment or assault. We don't know that yet, if that's a thing. That she's had to cope with. But you know when some people are almost a martyr about it, or like, because insomnia, so many people have insomnia. My best friend's got insomnia. My chronic fatigue sometimes gives me insomnia. I wouldn't say I have insomnia, but sometimes I can't sleep because my fatigue makes no sense. So it's weirdly a common thing, and it's not something good. I mean, if you have insomnia, I mean, I am tired all the time, but it's really hard to be tired all the time, and if your body still cannot sleep when you're exhausted, that must be maddening. I cannot imagine how annoying that must be and how frustrating that is. But to kind of be all like, it's giving pick me vibes. You know, like that kind of person. I'm not saying she is that kind of person, because she's being very stubborn, doesn't like to ask for help, doesn't like to feel like a burden. But you know when someone wears that almost like a martyr badge type, when someone is like, oh, I couldn't possibly, I'll just deal with this all on my own. Like, that's really annoying. That's really annoying. If my friends were like that, I'd be like, first of all, you're annoying me. You're burdening me by trying not to be a burden. Let me help you, because that makes me feel better, as well as you are in a better position. Like, when you care about someone, you don't care that it might be putting yourself out, because it puts your mind at rest knowing that they're okay. And I find it's a bit of a martyr thing, where you're like, I have to suffer alone, I have to suffer in silence, but it's not really in silence, because you're making these little snappy comments. That just feels, I don't know, I don't like it. But anyway, aside from that, I love how the last, like, update I did was like, oh yeah, like, she's very open and honest, and she's very open and honest, and I do like that about her. But some things it's giving me just like martyr / slight pick me girl vibes, but not really pick me girl. Like, she has no friends, so it's not like she's not a girl's girl necessarily, but she's not anyone's girl, because she just keeps to herself. And this is her internal monologue. You can't be an internal pick me girl, but maybe that's the wrong expression, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Anyway, I have read 7 pages since I started this, and I have ranted for, I want to say, like 20 of them. So anyway, all my complaints about Sage aside, Elias is perfect. I love him. He's just so sweet. Oh, he is so sweet. He is so sweet. I can't. Oh my god, he's even genuinely, this man is gone from great to better to even better. Like, come on. She told him that her gems came off before performance, and she sobbed when she was like a kid. So he has gems and glue in his pocket just in case. In case anything came off before she went on stage. Are you serious? Oh! Don't even know what noise just came out of me. Oh, this man. I feel like Elias is being a bit, not hot and cold, but he's kind of doing things and saying things that's giving Sage an impression, then he's kind of giving her the wrong impression, because he backtracks and then he like rejects her in some way. I feel like he needs to just treat her, like, he needs to pick a way to treat her. Either hold her at arm's length or be ridiculously sweet and loving with her, because he kind of do both. I don't like it. That's my one Elias, like, problem I've got right now. Wait. Literally, what's just happened? And also, the comment at the end, what's that got to do with anything? Okay. Remember how earlier I said stop doing the whole hot and cold thing, giving her idea, like, one idea, or treating her one way, and then doing the opposite? You've just done, like, the worst way. Poor Sage, oh my god, she'd be so embarrassed. Also, all things considered, considering how long he has been alone, I don't think in real life he'd be very good at anything. Anyway, this, like, constant back and forth of will they, it's not even a will they won't they get together, it's a will they won't they sleep together. It's getting ridiculous because obviously they're going to end up together. And like, I get Elias's reason, but he wants to be with her in that way. And he keeps being like, he keeps going for it and then pulling back at the last second. And in this one scene alone, he went for it and pulled back 3 fucking times. I'm sorry, just... He needs to just make a decision to either be with her or just to stop whatever this is. It's getting ridiculous now. It's getting annoying. To be honest, it's getting repetitive and it's getting annoying and I don't like it. Anyway, I've got like 110 pages left or something. 120 pages. No, I've got literally 110 pages left, and I'm annoyed. It's getting to a point where I'm starting to dislike him because literally the next page, pretty much, the next scene is like the day after. And she's just trying to just act as normal and then he brings it up again. And the way he acts about it and the way he talks about it, like, this girl literally feels humiliated. She is embarrassed about how many times she's now been pushed away. And then you go and speak like that. At this point in the book, the rating is being very dramatically dragged down because it's at the point now where I think she's trying to build tension. She's not building tension, she's just making Elias an arsehole. Like, again, I get his reasonings. He is absolutely allowed to not want to do certain things for any reasons. However, if he is then giving the wrong impression and saying things just to bat it, like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm not happy right now. Okay. It's Thursday morning and I'm quickly filming this before I have to go to work. I finished Spiral last night and I think I'm gonna rate it a 3 stars. And I've given it like a 2.5 chili pepper rating. It's not as spicy as Collide. I think Collide ended up being like quite spice focused. This one, it did end up being spice focused but not in the same way. But I can't say more than that without like kind of spoiling things. So yeah, I've rated it 3 stars. I did enjoy it. I just have a few problems with it. So obviously I did find the female main character at times a little bit annoying with her like almost martyr-y way of thinking. And then and then at MMC, after that she was fine. And then it was the MMC that was annoying me because he was very hot and cold, flip-flopping between things, giving her the wrong impression or making her feel a certain way and then saying something different or rejecting her. And I don't know, I didn't like that at all. And then there's a moment where she puts herself out there and he just completely shuts down. And like, oh, she must have been humiliated. And I just think, yeah, I didn't like that at all. So I had The Chase by Elle Kennedy on my TBR for this month. Alongside this, I don't think I'm going to read that because there's only so many of these types of hockey romances you can read. And considering I've read the Icebreaker series, and really only the first one is this focus on hockey. Then we've got like Collide in this one. Then we've got the Off-Campus series. And then the Playing for Keeps and also the Vancouver Storm series. And I'll be honest, I mean, I really liked the Off-Campus series. I don't know why I just have it in my head that I'm not going to like the Briar Youth series as much. But out of all of them, my favourites are like Icebreaker and Vancouver Storm and Playing for Keeps. So I've read some really good, I've still got something there. I've read some really good hockey romances, but in some ways they're starting to feel very samey, so I feel like I need a little bit of a break. I'd still like to read that series at some point, but I don't want to read it in the same month as this, to be honest with you. So I think I need a bit of a break from this type of hockey romance. There's like the Pucking Around series, it's probably going to be different, but maybe the same vibe, but with multiple people obviously. There is that dark romance hockey series, The Pucking Wrong Number or something, that I might still read because that's like a dark romance, it's a bit different. But these fluffy little hockey romances, they're starting to feel a little bit samey to me now. I don't know. But it is a fun little read. We read That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. I think I rated this a 4.25 if I remember correctly. This one was really fun. Read it in a day. And this is the kind of thing I need right now. Something really fun, easy, you can just sit down, read it, you're invested, you're entertained, and it's not a hardship to read it. This is what I need right now, I think. To be honest, in general, I feel like I'm just in a fantasy mood, so maybe I need to leave it with the romances right now. I don't know. Okay, now I've double checked. I rated this one a 4. It was Silent Sparrow. I rated a 4.25. This one, again, really enjoyed. This one was really fun, but in some moments it was a little bit slow for me. Not for me when I'm not still in a reading slump a little bit. If I was just reading as I normally used to, I probably would have just really enjoyed this and devoured this. But for my brain currently, a little bit slow in some parts, but I don't think most people would think that. But yeah, so we've finished this series. This one, I think, well, it's up to date if there's going to be more out. I think this is the last one, but I'm not entirely sure. And then we're up to date, obviously, with this series. I don't even know what the series is called. So we've for finishing series I'm in the middle of, this has been some really good progress. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!